streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here's Dalton and the Bengals now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. To Mixon on the check down. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 2 yards gets him back to where they started, but now 3rd and 10. First drive for this offense today, and our first chance to get a look at Tyler Eifert.
And he's part of the new wave of tight ends in the NFL. They use them in every position, sometimes even by themselves as a wide receiver.
Off the play fake to Mixon. This is Dalton. He's going to look deep down the field. It's caught inside the 25. A big play. Dalton to his favorite receiver, Green. 55 yards.
And the key number on that play, 3. 3rd play of the drive. 3rd down. Spectacular catch.
A first chance in the red zone for the Bengals now. 1st and 10 right at the 20. Dalton with a give here to Mixon. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
And he'll get this down only to the 18. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Brings up 4th down. Solid coverage by the Bears D. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let him get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. So, yes, it's only 3, but at least they're able to answer back after giving up the touchdown to start the year.
Yeah, I like the observation there because getting some points on the board, very positive for them. Feel a little bit better about things because if you don't score, you potentially have opened the door for them to score again, and then you're down 14.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if you guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complimentary football. But, you know, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Wide open receiver complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
All right, here we go.
On first down, they run with Howard. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, and you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he's taken down. Inside the 30.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39. Green.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Back to throw here. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
That's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. The line of scrimmage, once again, the 5 as they get ready for second and goal.
All right, here we go.
He'll drop to throw. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Anthony Miller, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bears will extend their lead. And it was a tight window. He knew he had to rocket that thing in there. He got it done.
And when you're able to complete one like that, your confidence has to just go sky high. You just mentioned it. Tight window, zings it in there despite excellent coverage. Result, touchdown.
This will be fielded at the 8. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Bengals getting set to go. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
On second down, here's Mixon. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Cincinnati after this. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Another look for Dalton on 2nd and 10. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Here's Dalton throwing the out route incomplete. That's Black. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing.
In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Khalil Mack in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
That I'm struggling to understand a little bit. That close to the goal line, 1st down, run the football. If you want to throw it, throw some play action on 2nd down.
And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Dalton on 3rd and goal. This is caught. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Now Green, staying on the ground. Let's hope he's all right. We'll check on his status when we get back. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And a 2nd field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Looking to throw. And this one is incomplete. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2.
Now let's go. Boom, land it.
They'll look to throw here. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. He let one slip away last week as well, so now 2 fumbles lost in as many weeks.
But we were out at practice, and we watched him work. And what did his quarterback coach talk about all week?
Being a two-hand monster.
And we looked at each other. Two-hand. Oh, I get it. Two-hand monster. Both hands on the football, taking care of it, putting it away so the ball doesn't get dropped.
What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week. Saw how...
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. In for the score. And the Bengals are a 2-point conversion away from tying this football game.
Yeah, touchdown. I love it. Now it's only a 2-point game. I know it's the first half, but you got to think. Go for 2. Tie it up. Go into the locker room. What are you doing? Come on.
You're bold. You're bold.
It's real easy to be bold sitting up here rather than down there and making that decision.
We don't have to make those decisions. Either way, little time left on the clock here in the second quarter. We'll see how this all plays out. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. They've got the lead. He's a big reason why. Looking sharp so far.
And as we travel around the league, we see quarterbacks get it done in a variety of ways. But today's NFL does tell us one thing. If that guy doesn't play well, their team's not going to win. And right now he's got his team in the lead.
And now they'll look to extend that lead. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down.
Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
All right, now look at 56.
set up to throw. Throw left side, taken in by Miller. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. A gain of 6 there on first. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
All right, here we go.
He'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. They'll throw now on the final play. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we reach halftime with the visiting Bears out on top here. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to...
And just like that, on we head to half number 2. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they...
In a double coverage, and it's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it, and his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead.
And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. No. Jack, Patriot.
On play action, they'll throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Darquez Denard there defensively.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Able to slither by. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
They'll stay on the ground, Mixon again. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. After the penalty, it's Mixon. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level. Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on 3rd down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right, they need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop him. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Back now in Cincinnati. And we've got a dandy here, a 1-point game as we begin the 4th. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. On the right side, this is Miller. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
Howard all alone in the backfield on 2nd and goal. Now back to throw. And he whips that one incomplete there.
Brandon, some of those windows to throw the football that exist when you're between the 20s, they don't exist when you're this close to the goal line. But as a former DB, I liked it closer to the goal line. Tighter windows made it easier to cover people, actually.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal.
Here we go.
They're going to look to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Stephon Anthony in there to record another sack, their 6th of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. This will be fielded at the 8. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. Don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Throw left side complete. It's Black. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A gain of 32 that time.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? He'll get it up the middle, and he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
They'll give it to him up the middle. He gets him a little bit closer and takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. And that is not a sight they want to see. Joe Mixon very slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. Dalton here from the gun. To the back of the end zone, but too high. Over everybody and incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
Big 4th down here. It's Dalton. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. As his guys are in for 6. And the Bengals have taken the lead here in the 4th. Big 4th down conversion for the score. And the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, okay, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. He's back to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 18 yards the gain for number 18.
That's exactly what they were looking for. If they get another gain like that, they'll be right there in field goal range.
And the tension building.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And down to the 36-yard line here. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
He'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
This defense needs a big play in the worst way because so far, they're not putting up much of a fight. If they don't get a stop here soon, this game could be over for them.
Back to throw. That's complete right around the 8. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Anthony Miller in the final minute. And the Bears have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
This one taken from the 7. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Elsewhere, Ford Field, they're into the 4th quarter now. And the Lions now have swung back in front in that game. If they hold on, a victory there would be their 3rd of the year. Getting set to go again, Andy Dalton marches back onto the field. This is something we've seen many times over the course of his career. Can he pull off another 4th quarter comeback?
And it's very strange, isn't it? Because when it's a player of this magnitude, even though the guys on defense have the lead and are sitting in the best spot, they're maybe the most nervous people in the stadium because they've seen this happen to too many people before, too many teams. They've got to find a way to shut him down.
Here we go again for the grizzled vet. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup. They'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bow up. They executed well there.
And it's often hard after you've played really well early and then you kind of relax a little bit to step on the gas again. They just did it on the last play. Looks like they want to finish this one off.
He's going to let it fly. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. It was Bryce Callahan jarring the ball free defensively. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
A really nice knockdown. He gets so much pressure in these situations on defensive backs. What are they taught?
Play the ball, not the man. Because if you have a pass interference penalty in this spot, boy, oh boy, you put your team in a bad place.
Pass interference, defense.
So with the pass being completed, they'll go ahead and take that instead.
Nothing extra to be gained. Pass interference at the spot, completed the pass. That was your play. So you might as well have not even had the penalty.
It's do or die for Dalton. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Von Bell. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, we were on hand for a fun and entertaining game here. Coming down really to that last play. Great job defensively to get the pick and seal it.
And we know that every play during a game matters. You're never sure which one's going to be one of the key ones. But at the end of the game, when you analyze it, 3, 4, 5 plays are going to be the ones you focus on. And that last play was one of them. The last shot had to take it, and they came up with the interception.